away from outside to no avail. 5-4. Trinity with the 1-point lead. Carpenter bounce pass for Abigail Martin, the sophomore from Hanson, Massachusetts. And the Rams get to the rim for two. Jenna Tavanese with the basket. Did not score a single point before this week. So Tavanese, I wonder if she's a transfer because they look pretty confident in her. Putting her on the floor starting lineup. And a foul on the Rams trying to contain Greenwood. It is on Carpenter, her first, team's second. Tigers with Maggie Robbins inbounding the ball for Greenwood. Greenwood pivots, got a couple of players on her. Shot won't roll home, but Greenwood gets to the foul line for two. Tigers style press, pace, and post. They need one big player to complement those guards. Actually, it was Kelly Simmons, who's now the assistant coach for Cameron Hill for a number of years. Had Ashlyn Milton as an All-American last year. Maggie Shipley was a real solid guard. So the Tigers, some of this is just roster turnover for Trinity. But the expectation's always high for the Tigers, who have had 20 wins every single season that they've played under Cameron Hill. Tigers with a 1-point lead. Got the extra point. They lead the Rams. Carpenter loses it off the back of her own leg, but finds the handle. Flannery O'Connor has returned, and the Rams back to the scoring column. Another layup. Framingham getting all their shots from 5 feet in. Trinity taking them all from 25 out.
That's the first field goal for Trinity in over 3 minutes.
Three-pointer is good. Tigers with a pair of threes. They lead 10-8.
Framingham, in the meantime, is 3 of their last 12.
And
lucky call. I thought that might have bounced off a Tiger.
Yeah. Tigers will get a substitution. Tigers men's team will be in action as part of our sextuple header. 6 games. Day 3 from the 2013 or 2023. Yeah, 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic. Tigers will play Pomona-Pitzer. Matchup of undefeated teams.
Point out, Cameron Hill, of course, a graduate, an alumni of that men's program. As Greenwood goes up and was not interested in going for the men's job when it opened up a couple years back. Wanted to stay with the women's program.
Shot counted, going to the line. Flannery O'Connor feeling a little better. And scores off glass and good. Senior averaging a little under 17 points per game. 12 rebounds, tops in the team in those two categories. Shoots over 50% and an 81% free throw shooter. She leads the team in that category as well. And O'Connor hits the free throw, and the Rams back in front 11-10 on the three-point play for O'Connor.
If she can stay healthy, she is a tough one to stop.
Yeah.
That's why she got preseason accolades.
Tigers with the ball. Try the inside of the defense. Well, momentarily. Now they'll kick out for Ava Limoncello, who's checked in, number 20. Greenwood, a couple of ball fakes, and the ball stolen away, perhaps. Well, Trinity tries to maintain possession. Diving play there by Catherine Hazelton. Leaving it all on the floor.
I think they're calling a foul there.
Yeah. Great effort from Hazelton.
That's an interesting call. So you call Limoncello for the foul, but she's the one who got absolutely barreled into.
Dove right into her arms.
Well, I'm surprised you don't call the person for diving in versus her for ending up in a situation where you're bear hugging that individual.
Hazelton draws to the rim and will draw another foul. So Catherine Hazelton, the junior from Greenfield, Massachusetts. Framingham, one of the state schools in the Massachusetts State College Athletic Conference. These are, if you're thinking in terms of resources, Framingham and the MASCAC coaches are generally part-time. Pascal has been a guidance counselor, I believe, for a number of years, and that's the case for a lot of the coaches. They're teachers or something else along the way. So impressive when these programs challenge, given the other things that the coaches and coaching staff have going on. Rams 12, Tigers 10. High dribble from the hand of Kylie Minter, the sophomore guard from League City, Texas, and she takes a three, and that is off the mark. Carpenter can't quite get the rebound, but last touch by Limoncello, and it will be Rams ball. 12-10, 1:39 to play. Slow pace. The Tigers, when they're at full capacity, they can score, they'll have 20, 25, 30-point quarters, and part of it is the pace that Framingham is dictating, but part of it is just the health of the Tigers.
I know Trinity likes to shoot from deep, but it does start to feel forced at this point.
Yeah. Gabrielle Redford is checked in for the Rams. That's Redford right there, and that is, again, way off the mark. Kylie Minter flying down the floor with the ball on her right hand. Annika Sines cuts to the rim, but instead they go to Elaine King. Check that Sky O'Rourke. O'Rourke misses the shot, gets her own rebound, puts it up. She's fouled, and Sky O'Rourke will get 2 free throws, a sophomore from Austin, Texas.
Coach Pascal not thrilled with that call.
Teams from 3 combined 1 for 10. Most of those attempts from the Tigers. Sky O'Rourke's free throw was good, 71% free throw shooter. Tigers very, very good as a team. 74.5 or 74%, 29th in the country. And just to punctuate my point from a moment ago, the Tigers average 86 points per game. That is second in the country when they are at full capacity. And now they're on pace for about 50.
Yeah.
12 points apiece, 52 seconds to play in the first quarter. Minter takes the inbounds pass from Annika Sines. Greenwood, Limoncello, and Sky O'Rourke. So this is all reserve players for the Tigers. Another 3. Can't make them if you don't shoot them, I guess.
I guess. They're
3
struggling.
on the way.
Struggling mightily, sir.
Hazelton kicks out. About 10-second differential between shot and game clock. 17 on the shot clock. Abigail Martin somehow finds Hazelton all the way across the court. Drive in, layup up, no good. Ball hits the floor. Flannery O'Connor, her own rebound. Shot, no. Rebound, Greenwood. 15 seconds to play in the quarter. Tigers can take the lead into the second period if they can score. Thought about a 3, did Limoncello. Greenwood trying to post up down low. Gets around one defender. O'Connor shuts her off, and a traveling violation called on Natalie Greenwood. Good help defense from Flannery O'Connor. And we're going to end up with a tie score at the end of 1. So all even at a dozen at the end of 1 period. We'll take a break and come back for the second quarter. You're watching the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic from the South Point Arena.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back, the South Point Arena and Equestrian Center. Tigers and Rams tied at 12. First quarter statistics, Trinity 3 of 13 from the floor, 1 of 9 from 3, 5 of 6 from the foul line. Rams 5 of 18 from the floor, 0 for 2 from 3. Brent Thompson, Everett Wilson, and Daryl Gideon. Crew does an excellent job here at the Classic. Top-notch officials keep the games moving, call them cleanly. Tigers with the ball, trying to take the lead. Drive in, circus shot is up and good. Nice shot for Josie Napoli as the Tigers have brought their starting lineup back out to start this quarter. Napoli, Reedy, Timmons, Robbins, and King. Framingham with the ball. Carpenter not going to shoot. Carpenter, for all the assists, averages about 8.5 points per game. Carpenter will inbound. It's Carpenter, Moreno, Hazelton, Yell, and O'Connor, the 5 on the floor. And a foul as Yell tries to make her move to the basket. Kelsey Yell, 9th start of the season for her, team leader in field goal percentage. Coach Pascal has been fortunate to have basically the same starting lineup with the exception of Hazelton, who just moved into it for the entire season, and that's Hazelton right there. 14-14. Maggie Robbins fires across the defense. Napoli shows to one side, nothing there, goes to the baseline. Elaine King looking too tall for Bailey Timmons out of bounds, and the Tigers with the turnover. .15 turnover for the Tigers. 8:50 to play, tied at 14. As Timmons just misses on the interception attempts, and Yell takes about 4 extra steps going to the rim. Or a lot.
Yeah.
Multiple changes of the pivot foot.
I think the ref heard you.
Yeah.
Commented about it too as he passed us.
Napoli brings the ball up the floor. Actually, this is Maggie Robbins, excuse me. Napoli was to her right. Robbins drives in, kicks deflected by Gwendolyn Carpenter, who then just swats the ball out towards half court out of bounds. Trinity ball. Tigers 8-3, coming off a season when they were 28-3. Reached the Sweet 16. Got a kind of a hard luck draw on a regional that looked like the Tigers could have hosted it, but instead went to Massachusetts and lost to Tufts in the what's known as the sectional semifinals. 3 on the way, up and good for Jamie Reedy, who's a 45% three-point shooter. So she's got the green light, as do most of the Tigers. 17-14, Trinity back up by 3.
And now 2 of 10 from beyond the arc.
Hazelton dribbles to the left. Good defense from Jamie Reedy. Reedy, a freshman. O'Connor drives in. Shot, no, but she is fouled by Elaine King, and Flannery O'Connor will get free throws.
King was in good position, just got greedy.
Yeah.
Lowered the arms trying to go for the block. Otherwise, I think she was in a solid spot to keep that from being a very easy attempt for O'Connor.
Flannery O'Connor. I guess we'll have to ask if she's named after the writer. Yeah. We'll let you Google that one if you're not sure who we're referencing. Free throw is up and good. 17-14. 17-15 once they change the score. Tigers down up by 2. Trinity with the ball. Maggie Robbins finds Reedy. Reedy for 3 again. Turnaround. Got it. Jamie Reedy back-to-back threes. Tigers by, well, 6 they say. 20-14. Hazelton. Should be 20-15. The scoreboard's 1 off. Pass into the post. Well, that scoreboard's got 20-15. That one's got 20-14.
Oh, lovely.
We'll call it 14.5.
Don't make me have to switch cameras. Oh, there, it fixed it.
How does that happen? Do they are the scoreboards on 2 different systems? Or?
No, Yesterday, one of these scoreboards disconnected altogether.
Okay.
So I'm not, not going to guess.
Hamsters in one scoreboard are faster than the other.
Very possible, sir. It is entirely possible.
20-15, Tigers on top. Jamie Reedy's got the hot hand, back-to-back threes. This is the freshman here. She kicks out for her teammate. Napoli 3. No, O'Connor makes sure there is no second chance opportunity. 7 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Napoli has the only other 3 made by someone not named Reedy.
Napoli down the floor. Got Timmons to her right. Kicks out for Reedy. Deep 3. No.
Again, you're at the 28. You were literally at the 28-foot line.
Shot from 3. No, that is way out there. Carpenter looked like she was trying to throw an alley-oop. 3 on the way for the Rams is good. Jenna Tavadis. First 3. Well, I don't know if she had one against Westminster, but
she might have.
If not, first 3 of the season. Tigers with the answer. It's Timmons. And back and forth we go, 23-18, and this is the pace Trinity likes. Hey, Tavadis into the post for O'Connor. O'Connor's shot, got it, count it, going to the line. And O'Connor yells into the face of Kelsey Yell.
That time I thought King was in good position and was smart about it. This time, and she got called anyway.
Yeah. Kelsey might have to tell her, look, it's my last name, but you're standing right next to me.
You don't need to. You don't need to reenact it.
I hear you just fine. Good thing her name isn't Kelsey Pudge. Connor, free throw up and good. 23-21, Rams down by 1 after the 3-point play by their All-American.
Don't know if I'm using this right, but my kids would say that slaps.
I'll take it. 3 on the way. Napoli's shot, no good. Rebound controlled by Carpenter. Carpenter down the floor. 23-21. Tigers have done a good job controlling her so far. Yell for Martin. Abigail Martin outside. Tavadis thinks about a 3. No, but Carpenter will take one, and that is off the rim, no good, into the waiting hands of Cameron Hill. Cameron comes from a coaching family. His father, Bob, the former head coach of the San Antonio Spurs and the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, one of them at least. Robbins.
We actually have not talked about that on Hoopsville ever with him. We should do that next time.
Shot up and good for Maggie Robbins. Tigers back up by 4.
I don't want to take away from his accomplishments. We don't want to make it seem like, well, of course, you just got everything from your.
Well, it was a cool team to grow up around. That Spurs team, when Hill was the coach, they had David Robinson at center. They had Dennis Rodman as their forward. I wonder if Cameron has any interesting Dennis Rodman stories.
Doesn't everybody?
And then, of course, Hill gave way mid-season to a guy named Greg Popovich.
I've heard of him.
He's 20-something years later still the head coach.
Now a Hall of Famer. Just went into the Hall with Division III's David Hickson.
Yeah, and to complete the circle, Greg Popovich gave way in his college coaching career to Charlie Katsafikis, whose Pomona-Pitzer team will play Trinity later today.
Yeah, he was.
It all comes around.
That's the crazy thing.
Circle of life.
Katsafikis has been there ever since Popovich left.
Yeah.
Popovich said in his Hall of Fame speech that he's just a D3 guy at heart who looks up to guys like Dave Hickson.
Free throw on the way is good.
But yeah, I would love to hear some Rodman stories, that's for sure.
Napoli.
Talk about an oxymoron, Admiral.
Yeah, that was.
And the worm.
Yeah.
Shot.
Worked. Oh, Connor got a piece of that on Greenwood. It's out of bounds off of O'Connor. But
she was falling backwards and got a piece of that. That was
a great block.
Yes.
Greenwood
could be really good. She's just got to get into the system.
At this point, it looks like she's forcing it a little. And you can imagine, I'm a transfer from a D1 program. I'm replacing the top scorer on the team. I have to make something happen, right? I'm sure that's
an appearance.
I'm sure that's what's going through her head. And
I got to show that I'm worthy.
Yeah.
And listen, this isn't not anything about her. Oh, nice run off the glass.
Miss, follow. blocked.
I think a lot of players who transfer from D1 to D3 have this mentality
Yep.
that they must be the best.
Right. You see them be very aggressive on their takes.
And in reality, you may just be as good as your teammates. And it's about fitting into it. Nice feed.
Greenwood finds someone on the sideline.
That was
O'Connor. Yeah, good. That was a good find.
Yeah, it was a great find.
25-23. Tigers lead by 2.
Napoli's just struggling from deep. She's 1 for 5.
Carpenter, as Reedy takes some swipes at the ball. Drive in, Carpenter, kick out, open 3 on the way. Back rim, no good for Hazelton. And the Tigers grab the rebound. Reedy's got a couple of threes. She brings the ball up the floor. Jamie Reedy from Pipe Creek, Texas. Pull-up jumper, won't crawl over the rim for her. Gets the rebound in reverse. Jamie Reedy with some hard work and a score.
And nice little reverse layup with her back to the basket. A little English to get it to spin in. Good job sticking with the ball there.
Nice freshman guard for Coach Cameron Hill. Flannery O'Connor back to work on Greenwood. Over the top of her, easy too for O'Connor.
O'Connor attacked her like, I don't care where you came from.
Yeah.
I'm going to work here.
27-25. Napoli finds a cutter. Monica Signs unable to make something happen, and the loose ball comes free to Kelsey Yell.
But Signs had the right idea. She saw Greenwood. The pass was just a little off target. Great thinking.
Hazelton for Carpenter. Abigail Martin calling for the ball on the wing. That's Martin there. She'll take the 3. That is off the rim. Rebound comes out long, controlled by Reedy. Tigers down the floor, 2-point lead, 2.5 to play in the second quarter.
These two teams are combined for 5 of 23 from beyond the arc.
O'Connor takes the ball away from Greenwood. Look at Maggie Robbins goes through the legs to tie up the ball. Nice play.
That was brilliant. She just waited and then went, I'll get that. Almost got the steal.
Almost got it. A jump ball possession arrow in favor of the Rams. Michelle Moreno returns.
Gotta love it when a basketball player kind of shows
it's right
an
there.
IQ play right like that. I think the Rams are a little frustrated by it, but it was a clean play. She got it real nice. No one said you can't go through between the legs. In soccer, it's an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Got a word for it and everything.
Carpenter to the rim. Gets free for 2. Gwendolyn Carpenter into the scoring column.
She's a good player. When she was wearing the white padding yesterday, I made a reference to Ashley Marble.
Oh, all right. Well, that's a very flattering comparison. Marble, National Player of the Year for Southern Maine. 30-27. Tigers quickly back with a score. Connor misses and is on the floor and very slow to get up again.
I think that one could have gone as
I thought that was an offensive foul, to be honest.
Yeah, she just barreled her way in there.
So did everybody else, because everybody stopped moving after the ball left their hands, anticipating the whistle.
Yeah, she
that
went
never
in there
came.
Uncontrolled. It would have been
Abigail Martin ended up scoring.
She's going to come out.
She's going to have to come off the
A
floor.
little banged up.
Kelsey Yell replaces her. So Yell getting quality minutes.
By the way,
Ninth start of the year for her. Go ahead.
According to Cameron Hill, I guess I was supposed to suit up for the game.
Oh.
Yeah, he came over and.
You still have eligibility.
Yeah, I do. He was psyching me up and everything. I'm just not enrolled. That's the only issue. Oh wait, there's some other issues.
Layup up and good. Rams to the rim. Back-to-back possessions. They lead. Actually, 3 possessions in a row. Carpenter, Martin off the rebound.
There's a lot of issues.
And then another basket there. Tigers will try and answer with their 3-point specialty, and they do. That is Kylie Minter for 3. She shoots 36%, and the Tigers up by 2. Moreno, pass is intercepted. Minter back the other way. Tigers can expand that lead as Minter waits for help, and then fires a 3 anyway, and it's good. And Kylie Minter, the Jordan shrug to the bench, drills them both, and the Tigers force the Rams into a timeout, a full timeout. We'll take it as well. You're watching the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic from Las Vegas.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
(36-31). Rams down by 5. Took a 1-point lead very briefly before Kylie Minner hit back-to-back threes. Carpenter, 15 on the shot clock. Hazelton, kicks out 7. Hazelton drives into 5 different Tigers. And a foul, I guess, called underneath as there's bodies strewn throughout the floor.
It's going to be a player control foul.
Okay. Foul was on the Rams.
No, he said block.
Yeah.
Called an illegal screen, maybe.
Okay.
Well, it called Hazelton, so just maybe bad mechanics. Very confusing.
36-31. Rams unable to score, and the Tigers now can expand on this lead.
By the way, it was 12-12 after the first quarter.
Yeah, this second quarter has been played much more to the Tigers' liking in terms of pace and in terms of results. 8 seconds to play in the first half. Minter to Signs back to Minter. 3 on the clock. Minter into her move, spin jumper. This will count if it goes. It does not, and that is the way the first half comes to a close. So the Tigers of Trinity needing a win to break that 3-game losing streak. The wrong kind of Trinity for them. They're hitting plenty of threes here today, and they're on top 36-31. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have a conversation with Riley Zayas of True to the Crew in D3 Sports as he tells us about his latest project, a conversation you won't want to miss. Back in a bit from Vegas.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
I believe sportsmanship is a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
The dulcet tones of Rick Astley out here at the South Point Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are at the half Trinity University of Texas leads Framingham State 36-31. Glad you joined us here at the 13th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. I'm Patrick Coleman here at the half, and we're joined by Riley Zayas. First of all, Riley, you'll have to lean into the camera. They're not gonna just lean in and say hi. Get a little bit over. You can see where you almost have to be in my lap. I apologize.
Yeah. No, Pat, thank you so much for having me on, though. It's been a fantastic D3 Hoops Classic so far, and certainly excited to see what unfolds in this game and the games to follow tonight.
Well, I'm very happy. You know, we've had 13 of these events, and you're really the first person of the Twitterati, who have come out here to actually see this event in person. So we're very happy about that.
Yeah, we need to get the rest of those guys out here because this is a fantastic event. I'm telling you, I mean, for anyone that loves Division III basketball, this is just games all day and great teams, competitive matchups. We've already seen a great one this morning and another one's playing out right now, so certainly excited for it.
What else brings you here? Obviously, you know, as a person whose quote-unquote day job is to, well, probably go to school, and also cover Mary Hardin-Baylor, who's been here before but is not here this year. What brings you here to the event?
Correct. Yeah, Pat, I'm in the first year of working on a book on Division III basketball, highlighting, what makes this level so great and what makes it so special and unique. I think in the modern landscape of college athletics, Division III is really at a point where, it's true student athletes, right? And at the same time, I think, it's the largest division of NCAA athletics, yet the least covered probably. And, I think that needs to change. We have great athletes, great coaches, great programs, a lot of tradition and history at the same time. And so I think in doing this book, the goal is to showcase all of that, showcase what the different regions look like and how it all comes together really to form a fantastic division of college basketball that, we're treated to great games in March, but we're also treated great games in December. And throughout the year, we see these teams battling it out. And just in a lot of ways, Division III is the original model of college athletics. I think that's a big part of my thought process in starting this book, but also just being, engaged and getting into this whole thing over the last couple of years.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't argue with you about any of those descriptions of NCAA Division III, right? The original intent of college athletics was this pure amateurism, and in as much as it's anywhere in college sports anymore, it still exists at the Division III level. What made you decide to do a book? There are so many ways, obviously, to bring these stories to life. You already have a platform that does that. We have a platform that does that. Your book doesn't compete with us, so that's awesome. But I want to know more about why a book.
Yeah, and Division III Hoops, D3Hoops.com is going to be included in that book with all the work that you guys have done. But yeah, I was reading John Feinstein's book, The Last Amateurs in the Patriot League.
Yes.
And this was several years ago. Loved the book, and interestingly enough, in his introduction, he actually talked about considering doing a book on Division III and ended up doing the Patriot League instead. But I think for a lot of what he was going for and showcasing throughout that book is a lot of what I'm trying to do here. There is a lot of tradition and history within these schools in Division III, and so that was kind of the initial thought. And then as the years went on, I got more into Division III on a national level. I became more and more interested in pursuing this to showcase, these great rivalries that we have. We have Hope Calvin and Pomona Pitzer, Claremont Mudscripts, and just so many others, along with, fantastic coaches and student athletes and programs and great elite academic institutions. So, I think a lot of what he was going for and wrote about in that book, The Last Amateurs, is going to be found within my book, similar elements and qualities to it.
I am so glad you pointed out The Last Amateurs, because that bugged me to no end, and that is the polite term I'm using for air here when that came out. Because also, I mean, among so many things, was living in the Washington, D.C. area. He is a Washington Post reporter. That's where he made his name. And to say that the Patriot League is somehow the Last Amateurs just because, they don't give scholarships for basketball, when you've got this whole thing called NCAA Division III that is the actual amateurs. I appreciate. Thank you for picking up that mantle. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. That has bugged me for literally 20 however many years. What are you going out to see? Obviously, you're here. I know you're talking to some of the coaches who are here. You've mentioned a couple of really good rivalries. As you're in your travels for this, where are you going? What are you looking to write about?
Yeah, so I'm going to use the kind of this year and next season right now to see how many different places I can get to across the country. The goal is to have a balance between the men's and the women's sides, showcasing the great programs on both sides. So yeah, moving forward, I'm in mid-January. I'm going to be up in Minnesota and Wisconsin, seeing some MIAC and WIAC basketball there,
right.
or WIAC, however you prefer.
Oh no, WIAC.
However you prefer it.
WIAC.
WIAC is what I've been told, the correct pronunciation of that. But yeah, then Hope Calvin at the end of January, and,
nice.
and really excited to see that rivalry unfold. Also, we'll be at NYU Rochester and go over to Nazareth as well in early February. Going to be at the NCAA tournament, obviously, and some other places. Notably, Cabrini's final game there on February 16th will be another one that I'll be at. Just again trying to get into these different places to showcase the stories, right? It's the basketball, but it's so much more than that. And I think that's going to be the goal in writing this, is to make it interesting for someone who is very new to Division III, but also someone who's been following it or coaching it for a very long time.
We're talking with Riley Zayas here at the half, 36-31. Number 10 Trinity leading Framingham State. All right, so you talked about NYU Rochester. That's a Friday night game, right? Okay, good. Those Friday night games in the UAA are amazing. Louis Alexander Palestra is a great place to watch a basketball game. I'm excited to hear about this as it unfolds and to watch it. So you say you're talking about kind of doing your reporting for this, for lack of a better term, over this year and the next, and then what does this production cycle look like these days? Ebook, right? Probably. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's good. Probably ebook, as well as the goal is to have print. I think right now the thought is, in a lot of ways, I want to do a season inside type of book. So there will be a little bit of a chronological element to it, but at the same time, I'm going to be pulling in some bigger topics, right? So like the UAA, I've gotten the chance to talk to a lot of UAA coaches already, and certainly will moving forwards. There's going to be multiple times where I pull in different interviews and conversations, right, to talk about something and showcase it maybe through a game or two, but highlight a bigger topic within Division III. So, I think over the next 2 years, the goal is to start the writing process of it and hopefully have that wrapped up shortly after I finish next year, and seeing as many places as I can. Again, the goal is to get to different parts of the country and really give a complete look at Division III rather than just a geographical 1 or 2 regions perspective, right? And that's a big thing for me in the approach to this whole thing.
That's awesome. I look forward to how it turns out, what it looks like. In the interim, where can people find your writing? Where do they follow you on social media, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I'm on X, Twitter, at Zayas Riley. I also run the scoop on D3 Women's Hoops. You can find that on the d3hoops.com Daily Dose blog, and also D3 www.substack.com, kind of showcasing and covering Division III women's basketball on a daily basis. So those are the 2 main places to find me, and I'm tweeting about games every night. So just love Division III basketball, all that it represents, and everything that it's about.
Riley Zayas is an amazing, impressive young man. He's been covering Division III athletics for several years already for a guy who I think is still a teenager. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. 19, just turned 19 in November. So, Pat, I always appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. And, I've talked to several coaches at this event already who have said this is one of the best events they've been to, and I can certainly back them up on that. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad we're able to sit down and talk about this book. It's going to be a cool process, and to see it unfold, I appreciate all the support from everyone in the D3 Hoops community.
Absolutely. I think the community will embrace this. Thanks for joining us. It's Riley Zayas, true to the crew, at Zayas Riley, writing a book about Division III basketball. We'll be back with halftime stats and then get you ready for the third quarter in just a moment here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
Being at a liberal arts school and majoring in business, it definitely gives you both perspectives because I'm taking classes about art and music. I've been taking religious studies classes, but then I'm also taking these very specific classes about accounting or statistics and finance. So I'm glad that I went to a liberal arts school because I definitely got a completely different side of the education rather than just being a business major.
I used to never really talk, ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back to the South Point Arena Casino Resort Equestrian Center, multi-purpose facility here in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the 13th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. Trinity Tigers making their first appearance on the women's side. Men will play later on this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you are. Tigers will play the Pomona Pitzer Sage Hens. That'll be a good matchup. That's 22 in the country against 21 and 2 undefeated teams. Right here, the Tigers ranked number 10 in the country. Next polls for D3Hoops.com will come out, I believe, this coming week, probably a Tuesday because of the January 1st placement on Monday. Usually give the voters the extra day. Tigers ready to go. Josie Napoli, Maggie Robbins, Jamie Reedy, Lane King, and Natalie Greenwood going to get the start for the second half. So a little bigger lineup as Maggie Robbins starts this. Robbins is actually out there. It's Bailey Timmons who's the one who's going to come off the bench. Moreno, Tavanese, Carpenter, Yell, and O'Connor, the 5 on the floor, and O'Connor blocks Anderson's first shot. Ball trickles out of bounds. 36-31, 9:48 to play. We just start the third quarter. Tigers got 6 points on back-to-back threes from Kylie Minter. And that is the difference right now. 36-31, Greenwood. Pivot, shot, no, fouled by O'Connor.
Good job of Greenwood of getting O'Connor going one direction and going back the other. Now she was out of position and forced to foul her. She was going to get an easy shot.
Tigers 7 of 20 from 3 in the first half. 20 of their 32 shots from beyond the arc. Rams, on the other hand, 1 of 6 from 3. Tigers with balanced scoring. Bailey Timmons with 7. Natalie Greenwood hits the free throw here. Hazelton and O'Connor with 9 apiece for Walter Pascal's Rams. Rams 11-0, trying to get a signature win. Receiving votes in the top 25 poll, but this would vault them up much higher in that category. Shot on the way, no good. Moreno swipes it away from Greenwood, and O'Connor will wait for Gwendolyn Carpenter to come back.
Oh, if the Rams were able to win this, I think there'd be a really hard argument not to put them in the top 25.
Yeah, undefeated with some good wins. Yeah. Again, the Babson win, the Albertus Magnus is decent, and Trinity's win, that would certainly raise their profile.
Just the fact they came out of here 2-0 too. Just not everybody's Trinity, but still.
38-33. Tigers on top of the Rams at the moment as Napoli drives in. Napoli dishes off. Shot for Robbins, no good. Robbins fights for the rebound, but Tavanese gets it only for a moment as Robbins pokes it away. Open three on the way. Reedy got it. Good three from Reedy, but Robbins makes that happen with their pernicious defense there, and it's 41-33. Yell for Tavanese. Ball tipped to Carpenter. Carpenter to O'Connor will take the shot, and that is perfect. Such a smooth stroke from Flannery O'Connor, and the Rams trading 2s for 3s, down 6 at the moment.
The way that defense is set up for Trinity right now, that shot is going to be there until they're going to force Greenwood out.
Yeah, that's a tough shot to make consistently. In D3 college basketball is Tavanese dives to the ball, and I think she's going to get called for the foul.
Yeah, she played through King to get there.
Tigers also going with a 2-forward set for really the first time with Greenwood and King, and timeout taken by Coach Cameron Hill. It is a 30 seconds, so we'll keep it here. Coming up after this one, the final game on the women's side for this afternoon. It will be the University of Laverne Leopards, who try and get back on track after losing by 20 to Rhodes yesterday. Leopards draw a tall task. They'll take on Ohio Northern, who is ranked in the preseason, dropped their first 3 of 4, but has rebounded to win 5 of their last 6, and back-to-back wins over Marietta and Trinity, 2 tournament teams from a year ago. Then we'll switch over to the men's side, and that's when the fun really begins. Number 21 Pomona Pitzer against Trinity. 2 undefeated teams. Clark, who nearly upset the Tigers last night, will play Case Western Reserve as this inbounds pass to Greenwood goes a little awry. And then Whittier and Husson to close out the night. 3 on the way from Reedy. No. Moreno battling for the rebound and grabs it, but pitches it to the wrong team. Elaine King comes down with it. 3 for Napoli, and that's off the back rim. Anderson grabbed it. Greenwood grabs the rebound, and this possession continues. Another 3. Another miss. Another rebound, and Elaine King puts it up and in.
Napoli keeps firing. She's now 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. She has just not been able to find the range.
Frustrating possession for the Rams on defense. They kept watching rebounds bounce over their head. Moreno for O'Connor, who draws 3 Tigers. Kick out, 3 on the way. Back rim, no. And the Tigers are going to make someone other than O'Connor score, I'm sure.
Yes.
Reedy passes. Floater on the way. Back rim, no. Lane King clears out 2 different players, and that's going to be either her or Greenwood who picks up the foul, as they just plowed through the middle of the line. It is on King. That's Elaine King's 3rd foul. Kelsey Yell out of the game. Abigail Martin returns. Pretty much been those 7 players for the Rams in this game. Just the 2 reserves off the bench. Well, and Tavanese, I guess 8.
Yeah, they went deeper in the bench yesterday for sure.
Catherine Hazelton slashes to the rim for 2. Rams back within 6. Tigers with the ball. Almost feels, Dave, like this game is, can the Rams score enough to keep up with the occasional 3 from Trinity, right?
Yeah.
Because Trinity's going to hit a 3, every couple of minutes. And right on cue, Josie Napoli hits a 3, and it's back to a 9-point lead.
That'll get her some confidence. Now 2 of 8 from deep.
Rams think about a 3. They have just 1 made in this game. O'Connor has a couple of 3-point plays. 18 seconds on the shot clock as Carpenter weaves her way around a couple of defenders, tries to put the shot up, and Elaine King has got 4 fouls at the 6:11 mark of the 3rd quarter.
She wasn't in position there. Had her hands up, but she just wasn't in position defensively. It was a step late.
So the Twin Tower approach for the Tigers was pretty effective in terms of rebounding and offense, but now going to have to, unless he's got another forward he'd like to play, they're going to go back to traditional look.
Kind of augment it with Timmons.
Yeah. Timmons a guard, but she's not short.
No, 5'8", listed. Decent height standing there in the post.
Gwendolyn Carpenter to the free throw line, 78% free throw shooter. Rams as a whole, very good free throw shooting team. Top 50 in Division III. Again, 400 programs. So if you're used to the Division I landscape where there's 150 or so programs, you got to adjust everything for scale.
So true.
46-38.
It's 4 on 5 right now.
Yep. Timmons comes into the picture. 3 on the way for Napoli again.
Told you that might build some confidence. That's back-to-back three-pointers for Napoli. Started 1 for 7 from beyond the arc.
This team can shoot it. Napoli 41%, Reedy 45%, Minter 36%, all from 3. And it's an 11-point lead. O'Connor waits for Greenwood to come to her and then drives right at her for 2.
Yeah, she's frustrated as well. But again, it's not being in position. Yes, moving with, but you're moving alongside her behind the defender. You're not moving ahead of him. Or the offensive player, I should say.
Now the Tigers going to go with a smaller lineup. Annika Sines checks in with Greenwood and King both with fouls.
This is where the Rams need to take advantage because O'Connor should be able to dominate now inside or at least draw enough attention to free up other shooters.
Yeah, really the pressure as O'Connor hits 1 of 2. Really the pressure is on, at the moment, Gabrielle Redford, who's checked in. Just try and get somebody on Napoli and Reedy who can stop them from firing away from 3. Carpenter on Reedy. Redford, as Reedy blows right by her. Shot no good, and O'Connor grabs the rebound. So see the change in size making a difference right away.
Science listed as a guard for this Tigers squad. And
Hazelton, was she not so far underneath the rim that that's... Is there not a restricted area thing?
Yeah, no, there is. I think she was just out of control.
Okay.
It's the arc.
Okay. That's what I assumed. She was
rid
pretty
of
far under there. But
yeah, but they got rid of the box. Thankfully.
Timmons,
I think, rolled an ankle.
Yeah, adjusting her shoe. Trinity has their own athletic trainers on site.
Oh, good. She's walking away.
She seems to be okay.
Yep. With both teams here, they brought their trainers. Or at least one. Looks like they brought 2. Of course, the men's team will be playing a little bit later today.
Maggie Robbins, high step on her dribble.
Oh,
finds it for Timmons, and Timmons is fouled.
Yeah, she was letting that go. Tavanese reached through and got her in the arm.
It's Tavanese's first. We're at the midway point of the third quarter, and the Tigers have expanded their lead to 10. 3 on the way. Napoli again, not this time. Ball rattles out, and O'Connor with the rebound. Rams down the floor. O'Connor gets it back. O'Connor says, give it back, and Carpenter off the mark with that one.
One of the most difficult, almost impossible entry passes is from the top of the key to the lower post. And just proved it there.
Yeah. O'Connor gave the ball up. She wanted it back right away. Instead, they went to the top of the offense to reset and made it a tougher angle.
Yep.
Timmons.
But it stayed on the wing. They had the right idea.
Guarded by Sines, or rather Sines with the ball. Sines for 3, and Annika Sines connects. And the Tigers have found their range. Trinity now 11 for 28 from 3, outscoring the Rams 33-3 from behind the arc.
Just remember at halftime they were 7 of 20. So they have gone 4 of 8 in this second half from beyond the arc, including Napoli hitting on 2 of them.
Trinity Tigers offense hitting on all cylinders, now lead by 13.
The game I thought Framingham State had a chance in, but Tigers are showing that
they're
not rolling over this year.
No, they've played well. I mean, they've played, you can't say even, they're down 13, but the difference is a good possession for Framingham is 2 points, a good possession for Trinity is 3. And Framingham doesn't really have an outside shooting game as O'Connor tries to get 3 the old-fashioned way. She's fouled. We'll go to the line.
Not a bad way to try and get some points back. She is 4 of 6 from the line. She's got a double-double today at 12 points, 10 boards. But, hey, get some points back with the clock not moving.
King, the only player for the Tigers in foul trouble. She's got 4. Free throw up and good for O'Connor. Flannery O'Connor, 13 points to lead all scorers. 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Misses and gets her own rebound. Tries to go up. Kicks out, and the Rams will reset. Drive in, Abigail Martin. Shot, no. Ball tipped away. Last touch by Martin.
Coach.
A missed opportunity there. Try and get that down to a 10-point lead. It will be a 30-second timeout. Framingham State last year, a record of 17-6, 9-3 in the Massachusetts State College Athletic Conference.
An impressive 10-2 on the road.
Yeah, they were good on the road. Rams ended up losing in the semifinals to Westfield State. So they've been 44-10 in the last 3 seasons. I said it was 2, but 3, because they did not win the conference last year. Rams coaching staff, Walter Pascal, joined by Lauren Perrin, a Framingham State alum, and Reagan Mulheron. Kylie Minter checks back in. Hit a couple of threes at the end of the first half to give the Tigers a lead that they have not relinquished since. Josie Napoli, Jamie Reedy, Annika Sines, and Bailey Timmons, the 5 on the floor. 12-point advantage for the Tigers, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Timmons, quick head fake, drive in as O'Connor took a big swing, but it's going to be a blocking foul on the other Ram.
Yeah, Tavanese was there, but she wasn't quite there. She was in the post, but she was kind of off to the side. And so the only way she could make contact was kind of lean in.
Trinity, an excellent free throw shooting team. Free throw up and good, 75%. And Timmons on cue hits the first. She's a 77% free throw shooter. Reedy shoots 90%. Napoli 85. Robbins 80. Anderson, who's hurt, 76. 1 of 2 for Timmons. Lead back to 13. Rams got to make some headway. You don't want to go into the fourth quarter. Oh, that was last touched, it looked like, by the Tigers. It looked like that kicked off the foot of one of the Tigers. And I think they're going to change it. I think they're going to confer.
In the meantime, Carpenter seemed a little distracted with the player who's off her hip.
Yeah.
Didn't see the player coming in behind her.
Rams got to get this down to single digits. Against this team, you are with the 3-point discrepancy between the two. You're not going to make up 13 points in 10 minutes, and not going to make it up that way anyway.
No, Carpenter forced that. That wasn't going to make it. She forced it anyway.
Reedy kicks out. 3 for Minter. Yes, sir. 12-3 of the game for the Tigers. They are pouring it on, 56-40. Again, a 36-3 scoring advantage from behind the arc.
Yep, Minter is 3 of 4 from out there.
And a foul on Jamie Reedy, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Good call, sir. By the way, earlier I noticed Riley Zayas just learned what we all do here. Other duties assigned, he had to fix the table. Notice that on camera.
There you go. We'll fit right in. 56-40.
Rams are going to the bench here.
Yeah. Try and steal some minutes.
Try and find a spark, maybe.
Yeah. Carpenter at the free throw line. If you're looking at who can give you some threes, Moreno shoots 50. No, I'm sorry. That's free throws. It's Redford who shoots 44%. Martin who shoots 49.
Well, they're bringing
Hazelton.
Ava McKeon in.
Yeah, okay. Well,
she
hasn't attempted one all year.
Yeah.
That's evidently not the strategy. Free throw up and good for Carpenter. She gets both.
McKeon replaces Redford.
Gwendolyn now with 6 points.
So you've definitely removed the 3-point threat.
3:10 to play. Minter for Sines. Reedy driving in. Redford hangs on her, but not close enough. Jamie Reedy for 2. Freshman point guard has been very impressive in both games. She's got 13 points to lead the Tigers.
Score on our screen, I know looks wonky. We'll try and get it updated.
Driving in, Carpenter kicks out. Tavanese rotated around, good ball movement. Ava McKeon now will slow it down. Pass into the post. O'Connor drives 2 players. No. Own rebound. Puts it up and eventually in. Ball rolls around and in for O'Connor. She's got 15. 58-44. 2:23 to play in the third quarter. Signs into the paint. Turnaround jumper smoothly done by Annika Signs. Yeah, 60-44. Tigers can't miss now.
That was pretty impressive. Yeah, for a team that was struggling earlier, right? Really clicking on all cylinders now.
Carpenter lead at 16, and a charge going to be called on Carpenter. He runs over the top of the Tiger defender.
She doesn't like the call, but she was trying to clear it out.
Second foul on Gwendolyn, and Tigers can create even a little more distance now. See the...
Gonna go 5 out here. If you couldn't tell going past our mics.
Reedy drives in. Shot no good. Tavanese with the rebound. Rams in need of points now, down by 16. Carpenter, they have completely shut her down.
Yeah.
By pestering her out as soon as she comes across the timeline. Shot will not count, but a foul on Bailey Timmons.
I've done a really nice job against Carpenter. She's a good player, and she's gotten frustrated. Part of that previous offensive charge, a little frustration.
Ava Limoncello checks in. 2 very quick fouls in the first half, some limited minutes when she returns. First free throw is good.
You have Limoncello added with the 2 Limon sisters.
Yes.
We could have some fun with this.
Free throw up and good for Flannery O'Connor, who continues to do her job. 17 points for O'Connor. Natalie Greenwood after an extended break. And the Tigers were able to expand the lead with both of their forwards on the bench.
Got a really nice bottle of Limoncello.
Oh, Greenwood nice on the pass. Oh, nice anticipation. Gwendolyn Carpenter takes it away. Carpenter steams by Napoli. Reverse layup up and good.
Interesting sequence with Napoli and Carpenter. Napoli turned around to the official like the foul should be called there because Carpenter pushed off. But I'm like, you're the one.
I thought it was on Napoli, yeah.
You're the one who actually created that scenario. I thought it should have been on Napoli for sure.
Ball knocked away out of bounds. Well, we said it's got to be at least single digits for the Rams. They need a stop, a score, and
more.
Maybe a stop and a score. Yeah, they might need both, 2 of them. Greenwood draws 2 players.
Initially, yeah.
Face to face with Martin. Shot no. Greenwood grabs the rebound, though, and kicks out. And the Rams, or rather the Tigers, can slow things down. Or not. Minter over 3. Limoncello, that is short. But Minter grabs the rebound, and Minter will try a 3. No. Carpenter with the rebound, and the Rams make sure there's not a third chance on this possession.
That was the first 3 that Minter has rushed so far today.
Rams think about a 3. Gwendolyn Carpenter for Tavanese. O'Connor tries to post up on Annika Signs. Has the ball on Signs, drives in on her shot. No, got it back. Follow, no. Ball tipped around. Last touch by the Tigers, and a foul committed by the Rams. I think O'Connor is going to get the foul as 2 chances to get it down to 10. And instead, free throws coming the other way.
It's interesting. No one's jumping for those rebounds. They're
they're all
standing there waiting for it.
Yeah. 60-48. Free throws coming for the Tigers. It's Kylie Minter. Gabriella Redford back in for Catherine Hazelton. Free throw up and good for Minter. Another excellent free throw shooter, 78%. Second one coming here for the Tigers. Try and get this up to 14 points again. Minter is true on that one. Minter now with double digits. One of 3 Tigers with at least 10 points. Reedy and Napoli the others. Carpenter has it deflected away. 8 seconds on the clock. Rotated around. Now shot clock, game clock rather, down to 2. And the ball knocked away, and they're going to say it's Trinity ball.
Really?
Well, the Rams
That didn't look right to me.
The Rams really hurt for a lack of a three-point threat as Signs dribbles out the clock. And the end of 3, a very good third quarter for Trinity. The Tigers expand their lead from 6 to 14. It's 62-48. One more quarter to go when we come back. This is the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back to the South Point Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, where the Trinity Tigers have a 62-48 lead. 10 minutes away from snapping that 3-game losing streak, getting back into the win column. Tigers will get back into conference play immediately. They'll head home, and then Tigers will play Shriner, the Mountaineers of Conway, Arkansas, in conference play. Trinity will change conferences next year. Pass down low, got it, count it, going to the line. Good start to the fourth quarter. As a bucket and a harm for Kelsey Yell.
Yeah, interesting enough, Trinity going back to a conference that split away. By the way, 5th foul.
Oh, King is fouled out.
Oh, I didn't realize it was on King. Coach usually has them come over and say something to their coach. Good
oh,
job.
Really?
Yep.
Is that's got to be unique to them, right?
It is rather unique to them, yep.
Huh.
When they foul out, they usually go over and...
How about that? I've never seen that before.
Saw that yesterday with Greenwood. Was it Greenwood? Somebody fouled out yesterday.
That must have been super awkward for her. She just...
yeah, right?
Wonder if they even had time to brief her on that protocol.
No, I saw Cameron pointing yesterday.
Nice play by Trinity to save the ball inbound. 62-50 as Yell missed the free throw, and the Tigers just getting all of the 50-50 plays right now.
But to finish the story, yeah, it's interesting that Trinity's going back to, not back to the SAA, but to the SAA. Those are all members, for the most part, that had left the SCAC in the first place. And now they're welcoming them and Southwestern back into the fold.
You know, the southern region of Division III, that landscape shifting a lot with the American Southwest Conference basically disintegrating, at least in football. They still have a ton of teams in basketball.
No, they're losing some of them, though.
They're down to 6. All right, well, so much for that.
They're all leaving for the SCAC.
Annika Signs for 3, 65-50.
They're either leaving Division III or they're entering the SCAC. It's a really
true,
interesting dynamic. Trinity leaving kind of opened the door for members to come in because they didn't want to play Trinity.
Yeah.
You're going to leave? You're going to not face Mary Hardin Baylor and face Trinity instead? I mean,
yeah.
it's a catch-22.
I mean, my kind of uninformed thought was that they were trying to get away from Trinity to begin with because they were so athletically dominant. I don't know if there's any truth to that. A good school as well, so not really an academic thing.
Well, man, you could go down the rabbit hole of how everyone says it affects recruiting when it really doesn't. But that argument is a
scheduling
bit of a herring.
Scheduling tough for basketball, almost impossible for football now for the portion of the teams in that region.
Well, it's also an opposite as another 3 from the corner from Trinity. Another interesting dynamic of that is that you talk about a lot of schools starting to consolidate their travel. Ooh, Carpenter got absolutely hacked from Minter there.
I think there must be some sort of quota on running into Ryan Coleman once per game.
I agree. Yeah, no, it does seem that way. But again, you talk about two state schools in New York and Geneseo and Brockport decided the travel in the SUNYAC was too much.
Right.
Relatively speaking, it's nothing compared to Texas. It's a nice little play inside there.
Yeah, although not a whole lot of sno on the road in Texas, and driving to
certainly.
Plattsburgh or Potsdam in February is a different story.
I don't disagree, but it's a travel cost more than anything.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe the buses, chains on the tires are expensive. Who knows?
But you then see Trinity saying, well, we're willing to add to our travel budget.
Yeah.
By entering the SAA. And the rest of the SAA say we're willing to add to our travel budget.
I don't know that this is a huge secret, but even Trinity was taking the very unusual step of offering guarantees to schools to come down and play them for football.
Yep.
So that's a sign that you have a pretty healthy budget when you can pay for someone else to come play you.
That's true. That is very true.
So we're not making the folks at Framingham State, who again have coaches who are largely part-time, feel especially good.
The dynamics are interesting.
It is a wide range of resources in Division III. 3 on the way is good.
We could go dive down the MASCAC conversation, too, about what they've done with football.
65-55. Gabrielle Radford, who's a good three-point shooter, has got the Rams within 10. It wasn't 10 at the quarter, but they got it there pretty quickly here in the fourth.
There's movement everywhere, Gordon.
Framingham with a chance. Ooh. Signs, open three. No. Oh. O'Connor just mistimed her jump. 3 on the way. No.
Wow.
And that one, yipes. That one way off the mark as Carpenter catches the loose ball rebound. And the Rams have a chance to get this to single digits. 3 for the Rams. Wow. Good. Back-to-back threes from Gabriella Radford.
Well, they were waiting for her to kind of find the distance. Redford is one of their better shooters.
And Flannery O'Connor with a steal. And the Rams bring it across half court. And Josie Napoli.
What is Napoli confused?
Yeah, I mean, that play is illegal in everything but roller derby. I mean, you come in with your elbow and hit someone in the face.
Leading with the shoulder.
Yeah.
You weren't in any defensive position at all. The look at her face back to the official like she was surprised there, it stunned me. Because it looked like she purposely went to try and...
Yeah, it looked like she was trying to foul her to slow it down.
Yeah, or at least just send a message to Carpenter to slow it down.
65-58, lob pass for O'Connor, and meet Ryan Coleman, Flannery.
Oh, Coleman got out of the way. Isn't he supposed to protect the players? Didn't he get that
might want to
memo?
find a different place to sit.
Yeah, I would go the other side. I'd go the other side of the stand.
And maybe that's it. Nobody has fallen on that side yet, so if he just switches sides, he should be okay.
Well, that's what we want to see. It's all about a scientific hypothesis here.
65-58.
See what happens if he switches sides of the stanchion.
7 minutes. Reedy out for Napoli. Rams feisty here in the fourth quarter. Oh, Napoli splits the defense wide open.
Both defenders got flat-footed reaching.
67-58. Tigers pressing on the attack. Here comes Robbins from behind. Can't quite get to it. Rams with the ball. Tavanese pulls up. Thought she got fouled. Puts it up and in. That's Kelsey Yell for 2. And down to a 7-point lead. Tigers playing with pace, but the Rams are getting closer. Driving in, Napoli hands it off. 3, nope. Rare pass on a 3. As Bailey Timmons elects to run the offense. 13 on the shot clock. Minter.
Some of the shooters know they don't have the range.
Pass to Minter. Nicely done. Beautiful give and go. Robbins to Minter for 2. Lead back to 9 and a full timeout for Cameron Hills Tigers. We'll take it with him. You're watching the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome back. College basketball continues here from Las Vegas. Rams down 9. We're down 14 not too long ago. Still under 6 minutes to play, so still time for the Rams to continue to get back into this. Tavanis's three. Awkward coming off the hands, but a rebound for Abigail Martin. Yell, who's got a basket on the last possession for Framingham State. Redford, who's got 2 threes, shows a three, turnaround, jumper up, and somehow will not settle for Yell as Pascal hopping up and down in frustration on the sideline. Tigers back the other way, can make it double digits. Tigers have run their offense wonderfully the last couple of possessions, and there it is again. Slashing to the rim for 2. Trinity with layups on their last 3 possessions. Robbins this time. Jumper for Tavanis, no. Yell with the rebound, puts it up, and this one rolls home. Kelsey Yell for 2. Yell's got 6. 4 of them in this quarter, which is halfway through. 3 up, no good. Tavanis rebound. And Rams will once again try and get a little closer. Tavanis to the line and had an open Abigail Martin, but kicks off the back heel of Natalie Greenwood out of bounds. Pascal calls out the play for his team. Rams 11-0, trying to stay undefeated. Carpenter for Radford. Radford slings it into the post for Yell. Carpenter, 3 on the way for Radford. That one is short, and a rebound by Jamie Reedy. Rams playing extended minutes with Flannery O'Connor on the bench. We mentioned her being banged up. Robbins zips it off to Minter. Rams, or rather Tigers, slow it down. Minter thinks about a 3, drives into the lane. Good defense from Abigail Martin, who pokes it away. And the Rams will come down the floor, and another foul. This time Catherine Minter leans into it and picks up the foul. Or Kylie Minter, excuse me. Kylie, the sophomore guard, who's played very well here today, but that is the 5th foul on the Tigers.
Yeah, quick
5 fouls to none.
Yeah.
But that is the Tigers' game. They're not complaining. That's the way they play.
Oh, yeah, much more aggressive defense.
You do not hear anybody shouting out about foul discrepancy or call them both ways. They know that this is the style they play, and this is the risk they run.
You're giving me PTSD, sir.
I'm just prepping you for what you're going to invariably hear for. I generally don't hear it as often in the women's games, but in the men's games, yeah.
Yeah.
Carpenter at the free throw line.
You know, I've read through the rule books many, many times. I have never found a place where it says fouls are to be called evenly.
71-64.
Numerically, that is.
7-point deficit. Rams trying to get back into the game. Natalie Greenwood goes to work. Nice spin move, turnaround. Couldn't get it to fall. Nice move, though.
Good double team from Yell.
And the Rams can get it as close as it's been in a long time if they can score. Radford dribbles, draws the defense with her. Martin tries to go down low for Yell. Yell, turnaround hook shot, no. Martin with the offensive rebound. Ball poked free. Radford dives for it. Tigers come out of the pile with it. Nice job by Trinity to pull it out. A 3 from Napoli. That would have been a crusher. And it does not fall. And the Rams down the other way. One thing Natalie Greenwood's going to have to get used to is the pace, as she is lagging far behind the play, and that allows the Rams to have 2 open shots, which they missed both of. Redford for 3, 3 in a row, and the Rams are going to circle this moment in their playbook when they had 5 shots to take the lead under 7 and missed all of them. 3:10 to play. If nothing else, they just lost 2 minutes. Now Minter and the Tigers slow it down. Napoli waits for Greenwood to come on a screen. Minter for 3. Kylie thinks better of it. Shot clock down to 6. Napoli's shot is blocked by Martin, who's played really well in this fourth quarter. Carpenter for Redford. Redford did not have the angle. Slings it into the block for Tavanis. Got it! Count it! Going to the line! Good finish. Excuse me, not Tavanese. That's Catherine Hazelton. My mistake. Good finish from Hazelton. He's one of 4 Rams who averages double digits. And Tigers have lost 1 player to fouls. Lane King. Greenwood will sit down, 71-66. And those plays are gold. If you get 3-point possessions, again, for a team that does not shoot from outside a lot. Hazelton has played really well. 16 points for Catherine. Driving in, shot up, no. Rebound tipped and last touched by the Rams. 71-67. This is more than in reach now.
Biggest lead was 16 with 2:15 remaining in the third. So
right.
In a quarter's period of time, it's been whittled down to 4.
Rams faithful who made the trip applaud Redford, who checks out. Michelle Moreno returns. Napoli attacks, kicks out, open 3, Reedy. Yes, sir, Jamie Reedy. And the Tigers back up 7. Big shot from the freshman. And it is a full timeout. We'll take it with him. You're watching the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
Rams back out with the ball, down 7 with 2:23 to play. Big 3 from Jamie Reedy right before that break. Tigers continue to shoot really well from outside, and Hazelton has it stripped away out of bounds.
Yeah. Trinity defender reached in, popped it loose. Should point out, Trinity's got 2 timeouts remaining. Rams have 3. Rams have not committed a foul in this quarter.
Tigers 14 3-pointers off of Reedy's make. Rams have 3, 2 of them in this quarter. Outside, Carpenter looks down low for Martin. Martin drives, and a blocking foul called on Maggie Robbins.
She was complaining about a wrap, but she was also she hadn't closed off the baseline, and as a result was kind of using her hip to apply some pressure. I didn't see the wrap from this angle. I couldn't see it. If it happened.
4th foul on Maggie Robbins. Shot no good. Free throws really a must for Framingham.
She's literally talking to the official about it. Though not the one who called it.
Free throw up and good. Abigail Martin with the splits a pair. She's got 5.
Three players have had a habit of running into each other this season, Jordan, and it just happened again.
Yeah, well, they've had 2 players get hurt doing that. Shot up, no, but...
Well, it cost them the game. The beginning of this 3-game slide,
yeah.
Right? Wasn't it?
The second game against Puget Sound, yeah.
Yeah, chance to win it. 2 players on a set piece collided with one another.
Robbins at the line. First free throw is good for the senior from Plano, Texas. Averages 9 points per game, and another outstanding free throw shooter, 80%.
Yeah.
Which sounds like it should be first on the team, but Jamie Reedy is 90%. So 76-68. 8-point lead for the Tigers. Rams had battled back within 4 before Reedy hit a big 3. That pass is off the target. It's stolen away by Napoli, and she is fouled. Catherine Hazelton, a foul. Not a terrible thing because the Rams need to start committing fouls if they want to be able to extend the game late. First foul of the quarter on the Rams, who have not brought Flannery Connor in at all this quarter. So their top player, again, fighting through injuries. And Coach Pascal electing to keep her on the bench and save some tread on the tires for later in the year.
Leaning on Yellen Martin right now.
76-68. 1:26 to play in the fourth quarter. Nice look from Minter. Robbins with the spin. The shot won't score, but battles away the rebound from Moreno. And the Tigers, that shot did not hit the rim. Shot clock down to 4. Timmons, she gets belted and wow. The shot is so far off that it's over the basket and wedged in the stanchion.
As ill-advised by Martin.
Yeah, Martin commits the foul, and Timmons will get 3 threes on a shot that had very little chance of going in.
Martin got way too close to the shooter. Instead of running, trying to go past the shooter.
Yeah.
Went straight at her and checked her.
And with good free throw shooting here, that could just about put this game away.
Yeah,
First free throw for Timmons is good. Another good free throw shooter, 77%. Timmons, one of the players that will be asked to step up with Natalie Anderson out of the lineup. Started both games this weekend, averages 3 points on the season. She's up to 10 now, so equal to the task today. The Tigers now lead by 11 with 62 seconds to play. Hazelton pull-up jumper, no. Moreno bops the ball to Hazelton. Carpenter will take a 3, and that's good. Gwendolyn Carpenter for 3, and Coach Pascal will take a timeout.
Yeah, trying to fight back here with 53.3 left. It might be a little too late, but they made a nice, valiant effort to get to where they were.
30-second timeout, so take each team at a time here. First for Framingham State, Dave, what did you see? What are your thoughts on the Rams as they head into the rest of their season?
Listen, I think they're going to be a pretty tough team in the MASCAC this season. This Trinity game will be beneficial for them. I think they can build on this and be a team we're going to be talking about come March. They get the right matchup, Gordon. They could easily end up in the second weekend even.
It's a lot like the Husson team, the men's team we talked about last night, where not a team you'd be thrilled to see in the first round, and they have beaten good teams in the past. They were the only team to beat Smith in the regular season last year.
That's right.
In a game that now that you're seeing them in person doesn't seem like so much of an anomaly.
No.
And for the Tigers, righting the ship, they're going to be more than in the thick of things in the SCAC, but thoughts on them as they...
I don't see anyone in the SCAC right now who's probably going to be able to knock them off. I think everybody kind of took a step back.
Yeah.
But they're also going to kind of come together and gel under this new kind of look for them midway through this season.
Yeah, this did not look like an offense today that's missing its best player. This offense looked really good, and they're going to finish, depending on how many fouls.
They didn't shoot great, but they found their shooting.
Right, in a tough place to shoot. And they're going to finish, 6 points, 5 points off their season average, but...
Well, and you start getting Greenwood kind of into the cycle of things and understanding what they want her to accomplish, and you tinker a little bit to having that big presence inside.
Abigail Martin, the sophomore forward from Hanson, Massachusetts, fouls out.
If Greenwood can figure out what her place in this offense, and the team can gel around figuring that inside-outside game, that's going to actually make them tougher.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she can get to a point where she can play with pace. She clearly was, kind of behind things now. But if not, multiple looks is not necessarily a bad thing. You don't have to be, all the good teams, all the really good teams who like to push tempo can also play without it. You think about
absolutely.
Christopher Newport, who's known for their captain's chaos, but they can win a 54-45 game.
Absolutely.
DeSales is another team like that. They can win a half-court game. And the
NYU.
Tigers can as well. NYU is another, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point.
81-71.
I don't think Trinity is a contender for a Final Four right now, but I could see them figuring it out as the season goes along.
Yeah. Gwendolyn Carpenter, and as Carpenter hits the 3, you pretty much know they're going to be on the road. So,
yeah, they're going to have to do it on the road. Absolutely. in back-to-back games. We heard, Case Western Reserve's men's coach, Todd McGinnis, talk about the fact that he thought his team was hurt last year by not having that back-to-back game experience, and insisted this be one of 3 different occasions that they got that this year.
Tigers hosted, I think, the first 2 rounds last year. They
believe you're right, yeah.
Generally draw the ASC teams and the SCIAC representative. You can kind of pencil those teams into the pod even without knowing who they are or what the records will be in some configuration. So again, we'd have to see what Hardin Simmons, who beat the Tigers earlier this year, does in terms of kind of bracketing. But
first time this event, we are actually going to see the ball moved up to the 28-foot line on a women's timeout.
83-74.
My least favorite rule. This is not an occasion where I despise it.
Yeah, this one doesn't make too much of a difference.
No,
this one might be as much as Cameron Hill getting a chance to practice something as it is anything else.
Well, this would be an occasion, if Cameron Hill had been the one who called timeout and kept Framingham State from trapping them in the backcourt, that's where I get frustrated.
Yeah.
But no, I think the Rams are going to be tough in the MASCAC and make things a little bit interesting in New England, make it to the NCAA tournament, be a really tough out for someone. They're going to be on the road.
Yeah, and I don't think – now, New England last year put 3 teams in the final 8 or 5 teams in the final 8. And Rhode Island College looks like a juggernaut. So they look awesome. Smith, it looks good, but are they better than the team that Framingham State beat last year?
No idea.
Probably not. And the NESCAC teams, I think, are down this year.
I would agree, but you're probably going to get one of them, right?
You're probably playing Trinity or Tufts or Amherst or something like that.
There's a NUMAC team. I don't think there's a NUMAC team this year.
Well, Smith, other than Smith, but I don't think there's a second one. Babson lost today pretty handily to Susquehanna, and they have 4 or 5 losses already.
Yeah, I saw that.
MIT has beaten
MIT. That's
Tufts
who I was
and Trinity,
of.
So maybe it's the Engineers.
I got a call from someone preaching about MIT.
Well, they have a nice – their lone losses are Hopkins, who's in the top 25, and NYU, who is the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
So
no, MIT was the one I was trying to place. So you got a 3.5 maybe up there. And then you're going to have Framingham, who's likely going on the road somewhere like New York, New Jersey.
Right. They do have the distinction of being able to reach a lot of different places.
Yeah.
So. Yep. 83-74, final 10 seconds off the clock. Cameron Hill with high fives for his bench. Tigers come together. Mentally tough win for Trinity today. They defeat Framingham State. They end that 3-game skid, and they improve to 9-4 when they head back to San Antonio and back to SCAC play when the Shriner Mountaineers await. Get you your final numbers here. From this game, Trinity shoots 25 of 67. That's 37%. Hit 14 threes in 39 attempts, but they were also 19 of 21 from the foul line. That's 91%. Rams, 26 of 64. That's 41%. 5 of 16 from 3. That's 31%. They had 4 threes in the fourth quarter. Yeah. 17 for 24 from the foul line. Rams shoot 71%, pretty much right on their season average. Rebounding advantage in favor of Framingham by 5. The assist-to-turnover ratio, the Rams a -2, 15 up to 17 down, and the Tigers a +2, 13 up to 11 down. Leading scorers for the 2 teams, Jamie Reedy, the freshman, played really well and may have earned herself a place on the all-tournament team. Question mark? Nope. Remove the question mark. Earned her way on the all-tournament team. 18 points, 6 of 14 from the floor, 4 of 9, and the crushing 3 to put the Tigers back up 7 when it was down to 4 with about 3 minutes to play. Josie Napoli with 13 points, 15 points for Kylie Minter. Annika Sines, a very quiet but efficient 11 points. Daly Timmons with 11 points, 6 points apiece for Robbins and Natalie Greenwood, 2 for Sky O'Rourke, 1 for Elaine King, and minutes played with no points scored for Ava Limoncello and Ivory Scott, who got in right near the end. Rams with a shorter bench, Flannery O'Connor, 17 points in 30 minutes, and I think she has earned herself a position on the all-tournament team. Flannery O'Connor with 17 points for the Rams. I don't know what she did in the first game, but get the thumbs up there. Catherine Hazelton with 16 points, 15 for Gwendolyn Carpenter, who caught fire a little late, but hit a bunch of threes in the fourth quarter. 6 points apiece for Gabrielle Redford and Kelsey Yell. 5 for Abigail Martin and Jenna Travanese. 4 for Michelle Moreno, and minutes with no points scored for Ava McKeon. Well, Dave, one more on the women's side, and then we get ready for the men's action in this one. As final thoughts as we close this one out?
Yeah, another good game. Nice to see Trinity get that 3-game slide come to a close.
Yep.
I think there was a real look that they could go 4 straight losses against Framingham State, but nice to see them get that win. For Framingham State, I know it's their first loss of the season, but that's one they're going to learn from. And they're going to be a really tough team, the Mascak. Looking forward to that, and really looking forward to this next one. Laverne, I think, can be a little bit of a nuisance here for Ohio Northern.
Ohio Northern playing very well. Winners of 5 of their last 6. Laverne looking to rebound from yesterday's disappointing performance. It's the Polar Bears and the Leopards coming up in about 18 minutes on a fresh stream. Until then, for Pat Coleman, Dave McHugh, this is Gordon Mann. Thanks for joining us, everyone.